So today I wanted to bring you this video to say a huge thank you for all of your support so far. I recently hit 1,000 subscribers, so basically I wanted to give something back to you. So I was racking my brain thinking, what on earth can I give to you guys to say a huge thank you? So racking my brains, and then I suddenly thought, I'll give you loads more low content niches. And today I'm actually going to give you not one, not two, not three, not four, blah, 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 but 60 niches. 60. There are less than 1,000 search results that are going to come up when you type this into Amazon. So what I'm going to do is I've got my computer just here. I'm going to be reading it off the screen because 60 is far too many to remember, I'm afraid. But we'll go through them. Some of them I'll give you a little bit more detail with. And I'll also tell you just how many search results came up when I typed these into Amazon. So then you can get a clear picture as to what it is I found and why. All you're then going to need to do is, if you decide to create these books, is just simply create your interiors, bundle it together, get it uploaded onto KDP. And if you find any of these books particularly interesting, then please leave me a comment down below and let me know which books are singing to you. And if there are enough comments around the same style of book, I will absolutely look to make some tutorials on those soon, or even just discussing what kind of content you would have on the inside. Now these are all low to, I would say some are mid content, but low to mid content books. So here we go. First one up. Now this is one of the lowest scores I could possibly find, but it is very niche. And this is an I Am One scribble book. There were only 74 search results that came up for this. So if you're thinking keywords, you could think of, birthday gift for 1-year-old, boy, girl, all of those sorts of things, art pack, colouring books, and just try and really think about it. Think about how you can maybe package some other things in with that as well. Next up we have, this is actually really taken off this year, and now is a great time to get into this. So this is the ultimate book of savings challenges. So what you're going to do is, within this book, you're going to put in there loads of different challenges to help people try and save money. So absolutely huge. And this one had 530 search results. So not too much. I haven't looked to see if there are any copyright laws on any of these. So you do need to double check that for yourself. And it might just be a case of you're putting some of these words into the keywords and renaming it, so it will still come up in the search results. So the next one is a Wordle challenge book. Now Wordle, as you know, in 2022 went absolutely viral. Like, it went huge. So it is a great time to jump on that train right now. If you don't know what Wordle is, I can't remember. I think it's, so you have 5 words, not 5 words, you have 5 letters, and then basically you have to guess what the word is by trying, I think it was 5 other words. Yeah, it's crazy. And then as you get it right, it all kind of figures out. Very complicated, but addictive as well. Next up, we have got cursive handwriting for adults, but not just that, niche it down further, and this is a left-handed edition. Cursive handwriting workbook for adults, left-handed, and it has 505 search results on Amazon. You then have, and these are really great for the kids, I Spy construction vehicles. So this actually had a really good search volume. So the I Spy books in particular. So again, thinking of your keywords, you've got construction, you've got vehicles, perhaps boys, age range. Think of all those different things that you can start to include within that. And that one actually only had 238 search results. Now this next one I think is it incredible or is it cheeky? Like, I don't know. But I can imagine there are so many kids out there that probably read magazines and comic books and think, oh my gosh, one day when I'm big and I'm a grown up, what I would love to do is write and create my own comic books. So you can actually get blank comic books for kids. And that had 348. I mean, this is crazy. You're literally just giving the kids the tools to make up their own comic books. If you put in the variety of templates as well, again, it just niched it down. You can go through and do all of the same templates, keep it very generic, but spice it up a little bit, make it a bit more exciting for them, and it makes your product stand out. Now also think about your cover so carefully for this one. Make it exciting. Make it so it's going to appeal to the child that you are trying to sell to. So if it's aimed at girls, make it aimed at girls. If it's aimed at boys, aim it at the boys and aim it at the right age range as well. So you could then essentially repurpose that same interior. Next up, we've got logic grid puzzles for kids. So really great for their brain training, and that had 431 search results. Now, this is very, very niche, but remember, riches are in the niches, okay? So by niching down, we can really start to make sure that we are appearing at almost the top of the search. On Amazon, ideally, you want to be there on that first page. Not too many people will click over to the second page. Very few people will go to the third, and next to no one heads to the fourth. So you want to be there on that first page. So this one here is ice hockey activity book for kids. And that had 157. Now don't just think about ice hockey, think about all the different activities. So within here you can be including word searches, mazes. Take a look back at, I created a puzzle book. It was for adults, but essentially you would do the same kind of thing, but aim it at children. So an easier version, but essentially it's the same book that you're putting together. And then you can also start to think about other different sports. Next up, we've got time tests for multiplication and division. Again, think about the age range. So you've got so many different age brackets you can do this. You could even perhaps not put the age on it, but put, if you're in America, you could go down your grade 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we would go key stage 1, key stage 2, key stage 3. And basically you're saying, try and do as many as you can in 10 minutes. Easy. Easy peasy. Next up, we have got a shadow work journal. So this only had 241 search results. This isn't something that I'd actually heard of before, but it seems to be really taking off right now. Next up, we have got minimalist modern art colouring book. So in fact, today, as I'm recording this video, one of my latest videos is coming out, and that is about how to create colouring books. So definitely take a look at that video. I'll put a link down below in the description. But if you're looking at modern art, do you know what I might actually do? And this isn't covered within that, is I might look at the public domain modern art pieces and see if I can perhaps grayscale them and make it so that, you know, you can create your own colouring pages out of actual modern art. So definitely take a look at that. And that one there had 721 search results. Now, what's really interesting is the word minimalist, because the next one on my list is a minimalist boho colouring book. And that one there had 339 search results on Amazon. So lower still. And also I think kind of boho gives you a little bit more to play around with. But I think minimalist here is really the key word and perhaps a bit of a trend at the moment. So I would definitely try and tap into that if you can. Next up, we've got Running Logbook 2023. Now, if you're doing anything specifically aimed at 2023, then definitely get that out there now. You can also create one that is generic and not including the 2023 in the title, or you can include it in the title, but then next year change the title to 2024. But you need to get these ones out there, and you need to get them out there quickly. Anything that is a journal for the entire year, largely about January, February. So you've got maybe a few more weeks of doing that. However, it does not hurt to plan for next year. So definitely look to do that. This is something I had never heard of. And actually this covers my next two, because they did have quite a different search volume that came up. So my next one is Book Talk Journal for 100 books. And what this is aimed at your book lovers. And basically they're just simply recording the books that they've read, giving them a review. They've perhaps got a place to write what books they would like to read. They can rank them. They can even do little doodles and journals and all sorts of things. So the 100 books had 192 come up. And the 200 books, so more popular, had 577. But honestly, I never heard of Book Talk. And I think this is one to watch. It sounds really catchy. I can see your keywords revolving around gifts for book lovers and things like that. So this one here is for your bird enthusiasts. And I think they're called twitchers. I feel like that's a thing. If you twitch, you actually go out and watch birds. So this is a bird watching logbook. And I can just see in my head now all these really, really beautiful covers. Really, really beautiful. And again, I would do some that are aimed at men, some aimed at women, some aimed at younger, some aimed at older. And really think about the kind of birds that you're putting on there. You know, it could be, oh my gosh, I didn't even look into this, but you could niche down further and go bird watching logbook for garden birds or forest birds, or, you know, and start to think about the place that these people might be bird watching. Next up, oh, and I didn't tell you, 895 there. So if you could niche down a little bit further, give you a much higher chance. Next up, we have got the Mood Tracker Mental Health Diary. This gives you 660. Now, in today's kind of society, I think we're all much more aware of mental health and trying to encourage people to either talk about it or record it and just get their emotions out in whatever way possible. I think that is a great thing. And that one there had 660 in its search results. Next up, we have got a nurse's medical/surgical blank notebook. It's just blank. It's just a notebook. Essentially, you just have to do a cover. Like, it's that simple. Find out the right size as well. Because if you think about nurses, you don't see them walking around with kind of like A4 books. You want it kind of small, petite, something they can shove into their pockets. They do have big pockets. So just have a look and see what else other people are doing. That had 206. So a really, really good niche there. And this is specifically looking at nurses, but why not look at other professions? You know, I'm sure there are many more out there that are carrying around notebooks. Think about maybe even like dental assistants, hygienists. Yeah, I'm sure there's absolutely tons. These ones as well kind of tie in quite nicely together. So first one up is the 75-day hard challenge journal. So each day you're giving them a different challenge to do, whatever that may be. And that had 233 search results. But the next one is the soft challenge journal, and that had 214. That might be quite a nice way to introduce sort of like older teenagers and things like that into it. So again, really thinking about your market, niching down, thinking about what kind of challenges different people like as well. The 90-day food and fitness journal. So by doing a 90-day journal, what you're doing is firstly you're keeping your book much smaller, which is keeping your margins down, so you can still charge a really good amount and get a decent profit as long as you put in good quality content. And that's not overly hard to do with food and fitness journals, not at all actually. So definitely take a look at that. By doing 90 days, well, you could essentially sell these all year round. So this one here, 529 search results. Now the next two are kind of linked as well. So first one, we have the horse health record book. Now this one here has 375 search results. And the one after is equestrian training journal, and that has 673. Now if you're currently sat there thinking, oh my goodness, what on earth? How am I supposed to create this? I haven't got a clue about horses. Well, do you know what? Neither have I. And what I would do is I would go to my good old trusty friend, Creative Fabrica, and I would have a look through their KDP interiors, because I can pretty much guarantee someone has put one on there. And then you can download that, you can tweak it, make it your own, create a cover, upload it to Amazon, and Bob's your uncle. Next up, we have got the 52 weeks money saving challenge book. This one here has got 230. So again, we are in a cost of living crisis. And what do people do? They stop spending. But what will they spend on? They will spend on things that they believe will save them money. So if you can come up with some really good challenges for 52 weeks, then do it. Help these people. They're going to pay, what, £7, £8 for your book, and you could save them hundreds, maybe even 1,000. You know, just think about it. You can really make some difference in people's lives. I guess I kind of like to think of myself as a bit of a warrior princess, trying to just change the world a little bit at a time. You know, the way I like to live my life is that if we can just make a little bit of difference to someone somewhere, then we've done something good. And that's all we need to do each and every single day. So by helping someone who is really struggling with their finances, some people are really great with money naturally, and they're not going to be your market. The market here is going to be people that are either saving for a specific event, and that could be another niche, you know, like a wedding saving, baby saving, holiday saving challenges, you know, and you can start to theme it and get a bit more bespoke with that. And you might go onto Amazon and you might type in, I haven't looked at this by the way, you might type in 52-week wedding saving challenge book, and there might be no search results. I don't know if there are, but doesn't mean it won't sell. What that can mean is that you are ahead and that you are creating a niche. You've taken a trend, you've turned it around, and you've created your own. So don't be put off by something like that. Essentially, your challenges would be the same, but you might design your pages slightly different. Perhaps even put them in a slightly different order. We have got a calorie counter logbook. Now that had 470 results. So really, really amazing there. Then we've got a reservation book for a restaurant. Now, if you include 2023, the search results go from 1,000 down to 354. So again, just by adding that little bit extra in, making it just slightly more personal, you can get a much higher chance of you being successful within KDP. We have a dot markers activity book for kids aged 2 to 5. This is one of the high ones. This is 906. So dot markers is like your dot to dots, we call them in the UK. And you basically trace around a picture. And for young children, this is really easy to do, which is why I suspect it's possibly got slightly higher volume. Whereas if you go for a different age group, you'll get a different volume. So definitely worth thinking about it. However, their pictures may be slightly harder to create. But once again, do not forget about Creative Fabrica. Honestly, I cannot go on about it enough. It is so good, so worthwhile. Next up, we have got Easter dot markers activity book. Now, Easter is, I think is it late April this year? So ideal time to be getting them out there is right now. Get them out there, try and get a few early sales, and then what will happen when it comes to Easter, if you've got those few earlier sales, Amazon will automatically increase your BSR. This will make you rank slightly higher. So if you can try and get in there ahead of the trends, you'll be ahead of the curve. You then also have Easter mazes for kids, and that has 245. In fact, I don't think I told you the result for the activity book. So that was 156 for the Easter dot marker activity book. And for the mazes, it's 245. So because you're being very specific about your time of year, that is your niche. Next up, we've got Good Vibes Colouring Book for Teens, 435. Next, we've got 2023 Sudoku Puzzle Book for Adults. Now, this has 647. And if you get Book Bolt, link down below in the description, they are ridiculously easy to create. Again, all you've essentially got to do is create your cover. Create a banging cover. You will sell so much, I promise you. My puzzle book that I did at Christmas was my biggest seller. Yeah, it was. Although I think it's just been overtaken now, actually. So puzzle books for adults are really, really huge. If you go down into a particular puzzle, you'll find, yeah, you'll do great. Next up, we have got ballet. So the first one is the ballet colouring book for ages 4 to 8. That has a search result of 647. If you go activity book, however, 286. I mean, that's ridiculous, right? Again, you're niching down into a specific activity and also an age group. Next up, again, another little set. So we've got Big Sister Activity Colouring Book for Kids ages 2 to 8. 408. Big Brother Colouring Book, 956. You're focusing on something really specific. Now, when I had my second and my third child, we actually put together like a basket, like a little hamper for the other children. In it had different things to keep the older children busy. So activity books, colouring books like that. When you're with the baby, honestly, they're priceless. Mums will buy them, for sure. Then you have I Am a Big Brother colouring book, 367. Monster Truck colouring book, 942. Gymnastics colouring book for girls aged 8 to 12, 181. Gymnastic colouring book for girls ages 4 to 8, 906. Supercar colouring book for kids ages 6 to 12, 719. Sneakers colouring book for adults, 403. And I'd maybe even in that one include in a few pages where perhaps they can design their own sneakers. You just give them a blank sneaker, doodle over it, make it your own. Pin-up models colouring book, obviously for adults, 567. A Spanish handwriting workbook for kids, 314. Korean practice notebook, 680. Greek alphabet handwriting workbook, 181. So here in the UK, obviously we are a really, really diverse society. People want to keep hold of their heritage. You know, you'll have a Greek family who, yes, they're British, they're bringing their children up as British, but they still want them to understand their heritage and their roots. So they would still likely take them to Greek lessons and things like that. Now here's some really practical books coming up next. A cattle record cow-calf logbook, 128. We've got a debt payoff planner, 176. A period tracker journal, 615. Now again with that, aim it at different people. So you could be aiming it at your teenagers, young girls, but then you can also be aiming it at your adults as well. And what someone might want in their 20s might be a bit different to in their 30s. So just bear that in mind. Session notes notebook for therapists, 428. Beekeeping logbook, 287. Now, bee enthusiasts here in the UK, I think it's really taken off. I think we all underestimate bees, don't we? And we underestimate what they do for our environment, for our world, for our earth. And yeah, all these beekeepers out there, you guys, you're keeping us going. Keep it up. Next, we have the rental ledger book, 454. Caregiver daily logbook, 517. Vital signs logbook, 275. Again, for that, there are templates over on BookBolt. Freeze dried logbook, 961. Next up, we have got the Lash Extension Client Record Logbook, 483. Sewing Logbook, Project and Planner, 209. Garden Logbook and Planner, 1000. Gastric Sleeve Journal, 305. And now I'm going to finish off with one of my lower ones, which is a Real Estate Client Logbook. And that one there is 181. So I just wanted to give you these niches today so that you could go out there, you could have something to start with. Just take one, maybe two, create the interiors and then create a few different covers. Upload them onto Amazon. You can try out different keywords and things like that. Remember, keep on top of your listings. Don't just list and leave it. If you're not selling, go in, change it, change your keywords, change your description, change your cover, change your interior, check your look inside, have a look at A+ content. There are so many things that you can do to make your book sales. Now, once again, I really just want to say thank you so much for getting me to my 1,000 subscribers. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Here is to a really amazing 2023. And I will see you all next time. Thank you so much. Bye.